Hi there, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. On today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how you can make this lovely design, splash and spread design, which includes both the dripping part of it and the um, flay part of the dress and the body. So stay tuned as I show you how you can do this in details. So here is the pattern paper I'll be using for this tutorial. So this is me. I'm just trying to use my sellotape to join these papers together so that it will be enough with whatever I'm going to be using it for. Quickly, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Kindly subscribe to my channel and turn your notification bell on to get notified each time I upload new videos. Thank you. So here is the paper now. After joining it like so, I will, place it on my table, unfold. So as you can see, this will be the front and the back. I'm going to be using this particular pattern now for both the front and the back. So just watch closely how I do this. So after placing it like so, I'll take the bodice, which is from the shoulder part to the waistline. So I'll be gumming this, sellotaping this down to the flay part of the dress now. So just before I start cutting or before I put it on each other, I'll be notching it at the center of each of this pattern paper. So after notching it, I will open it and then I will be placing it on each other like I'm doing right now. So just make sure when you're placing it, it's not more than half an inch. When you're placing it on each other, it's not more than half an inch for the sewing allowance. Yeah, this is going to be time taking. That's just what you have to do. Just take your time and sellotape it so one side won't be shorter than the other. We are doing it based on what we want to achieve. So after folding it, the next thing I will do now, the first thing I will do is take my measurement from the shoulder to the waistline. Then from the waistline, which is 17 inches, yours might be 18 inches. Then you take your tape rule from that 17 inches. I took the tape rule down like so. So this is going to be this is what I'm going to be using for both the back and the front, and then I'll go up by 2 inches from the length of the blouse, which I'm going to be using. This is the whole of the length now, so I'll just be putting curve from that 2 inches I measured upwards. So I'll be covering it using my pattern master like so, connecting it to meet up with the center part of the flay gown, the flay part of this dress. So then after doing that, I will be connecting it using my ruler to just give it a guide, so I won't be making any mistakes. So I'll rule from that end there down to the curvy area I just did. So after connecting it like so, I'll take my scissors and then I'll be cutting this out right now. Yeah, so after cutting that out, I'll be showing you the details on how you can, go about it. So here is the, bodice for the back, which I'm going to be using for the front as well, like I said earlier. So what I will do now is take the measurement for the waistline. I said this is going to be used for the back measurement. So on this waistline, I'm going to be adding the darts for both sides, which is 2 inches on both sides for the darts intake. So for the center back, which is going to be the zipper area of this dress, I'm going to be adding 1 inches. But for this that intake from the waistline upwards, I'm going to be using 6 inches, and for the from the waistline downwards, I'm going to be using 5 inches. So now I'm going to just be indicating where I want my dart to start, which is your, bust palm, from your bust point to the other bust point. So I'm just going to be outlining the darts right now, where I want it to starting from, and where I want it to end. So this is what I'm doing right here. So after doing this, be cutting it out on my fabric. But before cutting it on my fabric, I'm going to be separating the bodies from the down parts. So I'll go now and come back and show you how it is. So here is it, and this is the outcome after cutting it. I cut this in 2 pieces. The down part, I cut it in 2, and the upper side as well, I cut those two in piece too, in 2 pieces. So now the next thing I will do, and note that I added extra allowances for both the, for the zipper area and the dart intake. Yeah, because the pattern I'm using is the actual measurement for the dress I'm making. So the next thing I did is I'll be joining this together again, merging it just like I did earlier with my sellotape using 1/2 inch. Just make sure whatever you're using goes in line with your actual measurements. I already cut this on, at the back bodies with the down parts in separate ways. So I'll be joining same 1/2 inches together for the front cutting, right? So it aligns with the back cutting. So here is the waistline and the bodies from the shoulder downwards. So I'll be taking the measurements for the waistline, and then I'll be adding extra 2 inches for sewing allowance. So this includes the bust and the waistline only. So because I'm not going to be taking any measurements for the hip, because I'm working with a flare down part of the dress. So now the next thing I'll be doing is showing you how you can cut this splash and spread. So what I will be doing next is taking the measurement from this place to the point where I want the v-neck to start. So from the shoulder line, I'll go down by 7 to 8 inches. But before doing that, I will be going out from the shoulder line down to the shoulder slope. I'll be going out by 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and then after doing this, from this point here, I'll go down by 7 to 8 inches. So let me just take 8 inches using my tape rule. I'll go down by 8 inches. If you want your cleavage to be showing, you can use 9 inches to 10 inches thereabouts. So let me just go up by 7 inches again to see the one I'll be going with at the end of the day. So I'll be connecting it now from this other side, which is from the left hand side of the shoulder. Just make sure whenever you're making your patterns, you're making it on the right side of whatever fabric you'll be cutting, so you can know the side and the area you want to actually put your drape or your pleats. So now after doing this, I've outlined it, as you can see. So I'll be taking from my shoulder line now to where I want the the upper plate to stop, which is going to be my under bust measurement, which is 14 inches. This is your actual under bust measurement now, which is 14 inches that I just outlined. So I'll be sketching it now from that end there to my on upper hip line, which I'm going to be using for the down part of the drape I'm using. So this is 22 inches. I will outline it using my marker and my pattern master to, rule out the place I want to end it. So I'll just be sketching this through now down to this side from that end there. But before doing that, take out some inches, and as you can see, we have some pleats on this part of the shoulder side. So I'll take out 1 inches for this part. So, and then I'll be connecting it back using my pattern master from that shoulder line downwards to the point where I just outlined, and then I'll also be connecting it with my pattern master from this end there to the point where I just outlined. So you can see how wideness and how shapy that is looking already. So, and then I will be sketching it now the way you can see me doing downwards to meet up with the upper hip line. So when I'm done sketching, note that from this point here to the underbust will be for the pleat I'm using for the upper area, which is going to be 5 inches thereabouts before applying the pleats. So I'll take my ruler now and just showing you how you can actually not achieve this particular design using a straight ruling. As you can see on the pattern being shown on the screen, so it's just a guideline for you not to mess up with this tutorial. Why is because you're not going to achieve the design using a straight line, as you can see. So on this point here where I'm having the ruffles at the upper area, I'll be using 1 inches for the ruffles line, and then I'll take my pattern master now and outline it from this point here down to the left part of the shoulder of this dress. So after outlining everything, the next thing I will do is to cut out where the area which I have outlined, which is this round area, and also the ruffle parts, the upper ruffle part areas which I already outlined. So just watch closely how I cut it. Right here you can see how lovely this is looking. So I'll merge it like so, then I'll be outlining it using my pattern master and my marker from this point here, from where the V neck starts from. That's where I'll be cutting out, and then I'll be outlining where I want the drape to be on this part of the sleeve, on this part of the shoulder line. So, and then I'll cut it out using my scissors. Afterwards I will be cutting out this ruffle area now. Make sure when you're cutting it out, you are putting everything into details. And again, if you've watched previous of my videos, you know how I normally do this. I don't use excess of pattern paper. I'll just be using my sellotape as a guideline for this. So just pay attention and watch closely the way I do this and learn properly how you can as well do it for yourself. And so, as like I said earlier, I'm going to be cutting this and again be sellotaping it down on my table like so, using 2 inches each for this splash I'm making right now. So you can actually cut this directly, do this directly on your fabric or your extra pattern paper, as you can see me doing. And note that the fabric you should be using for this tutorial is thick and stretchy, if not that stretchy but a bit stretchy. But just in the case of mine, I'm using a very flexible non-stretchy fabric. For the spread is 2 inches, like I said earlier. So depending on how wide your fabric, the amount of the fabric you're having is, that is the amount in which you'll be cutting out for this spread. Placing it, I'll be cutting this out now with this Duchess material, and then I'll pick up this other part of the dress, the down part, and then from the shoulder line downwards to the 17 inches for my waistline is where I will be starting the pleat from. So I'll start my spread and splash from there using 1 inches each on each lines. So after doing this, now the next thing I'll do, I'll take my scissors and I'll be cutting this out, and I will also be securing it down with my sellotape, using the sellotape to spread it out before cutting it on my fabric. And that will be all for this part, and stay tuned for the part 2 of this tutorial. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and turn your notification bell on to get notified when I upload new videos, guys. Thank you again for watching, and also stay tuned as I take you through the sewing part of this tutorial on the part 2. Bye guys, thank you.